In order to properly commemorate what for most of us has been the media event of the year for gaming for as long as we can remember, I thought I would put together a video collage of my reactions to all the announcements and unveilings. In case it isn't perfectly obvious by now, I'm Project COE staff writer Justin Joseph, and I'm extremely excited to deliver yet another first for our site, a video editorial. What I'm basically going to do here is show you evidence of what I found to be the most captivating with each of the Big Three's respective press conferences. I will then elaborate upon what I felt to be awesome and pitiful, along with that which we expected. After each major individual item, I will then render a 1 or 2 thumbs up or down verdict. I suppose in that light, it's appropriate that I'm calling this piece E3 2008, A Tale of Two Thumbs, and I humbly welcome you to part 1 of 3 in this saga. Okay, I've done enough introductory rambling, you're here for the goods, and here they are. Allow me to start with the last, but certainly not least conference, Sony Computer Entertainment of America. I'm happy to say, for the first time in a few years, Sony managed to keep me awake and moderately entertained. It's a fair bit odd that the company focused a nice chunk of its presentation on the very aging PlayStation 2 platform along with their current gen stuff, but most of it was intriguing enough for us to be attracted to Sony's future. If absolutely nothing else, their focus on quality exclusive software was truly telling, and that's where my analysis begins. First off was Resistance 2, no subtitle associated. A video of someone who previously played what was presumably a demo build showed Nathan Hale listening to a pessimistic radio broadcast pertaining to the state of the world and what many original Resistance fans have been dying to see for a while, the encounter with that absolutely towering chimera. The footage was satisfactorily lengthy and did wonderfully to emphasize the scale of the upcoming PS3 shooter. That Chimera battle is going to be beyond intense, and the size of their space cruisers is enough to make any hardcore gamer weak at the knees. Then when you factor in the separate single-player and co-op campaigns, what is bound to be the next standard for online competitive play, and stunning visuals, how can I give this anything other than one of these? And how could anyone possibly forget that incredibly creative Little Big Planet interpretation of Sony's hardware and software sales speech? Instead of bringing the typical or sleep-inducing PowerPoints and lame, colorful bar graphs, Sony instead opted for Sackboy to trek through an E3-specific Little Big Planet level that allowed the game's platforming mechanics to cleverly display the info. It was a very interesting way to not only demo the increasingly cooler-by-the-day looking game, but to emphasize the bigwigs' corporate drivel. For that, I score this. Okay, now on to what caught me off guard, a collection of PS2 titles announced, which include NCAA Football, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, another SingStar, and even Mercenaries 2, not to mention that $149 LEGO Batman bundle. The thing is, I don't have a personal problem with this. I was simply under the impression that when a new generation is in full swing, resources are to be shifted thereunto. Come on, let the PS2 die like it really deserves to. Good for non-transitional PS2 owners, bad for those who've laid down $400 and $600 and more. Easily emphasized the most was the PlayStation Network, and understandably so. Sony has to compete with the evolution of Xbox Live, and they're seeming to do just that. Account users will soon have just one sign-on to worry about with their PSP, PS3, and PC, and it's very cool that you can store all sorts of media on the PlayStation 3. The TV and movie rental and buying service should be a hit, and a slew of attractive games are coming to the downloadable department. Those like the $14.99 Ratchet & Clank Future Quest for Booty, Crash Commando, Fat Princess, Siren Blood Curse, and Ragdoll Kung Fu should represent some nice appeal. A very nice step in the right direction for Sony's free-of-charge online infrastructure. For racing fans, Gran Turismo TV launches on August 1st with Ferrari headquarters, Best Motoring, G1 Grand Prix, and Top Gear as stations available for your viewing pleasure. I could personally care less about this, but if you don't have digital cable or satellite TV, a PS3 and Gran Turismo Prologue will solve your problem. Nicely done, Sony. With regards to the PSP software content, Sony opted for a comprehensive trailer that showcased several upcoming titles. They included Resistance Retribution, Loco Roco 2, Patapon 2, Super Stardust Portable, and the much-anticipated Valkyria Chronicles. That's quite a nice list, with even more that I didn't mention, so there's something nice for everyone who owns the portable, and for that, I rendered this little guy. Another pleasant announcement is that Sony is finally stopping with all these ridiculous different SKU announcements and will be focusing on an 80GB PS3 model that mirrors the functionality of the 40GB. That kind of sucks for those that want the full backwards compatibility, but it's not that terribly difficult to still score one of those units if you really want to. I like this turnabout very much. The last game to be unveiled was MAG, or Massive Action Game, which surprisingly enough is going to be online only and support up to 256 players at any given time, split into a series of 8-member teams. The game will feature fully customizable soldiers and a whole lot of chaos to boot. From Zipper, someone I'm not exactly familiar with, this is a very applaud-worthy and ambitious undertaking, and I wish them the best of luck. Then to finally cap off the presentation in very appropriate fashion, Sony allowed a trailer of none other than God of War's Kratos to briefly but impressively tease what fans can expect, at least from a graphical perspective, when the third entry in the console series is ready to beat the crap out of everything else at retail. Obviously God of War 3. A fitting conclusion deserves a fitting verdict. Folks, Sony Computer Entertainment did what they came to do at E3. While I can certainly do without the lame PS2 lineup announcement, they seem to be headed in the necessary direction with not only great upcoming software, but continued improvement of PlayStation Network, the imminent integration of home and more firmware updates. I mean, seriously, good job to them, and I look forward to enjoying the PS3 and PSP's products and services once I finally pick up the devices myself. It's a shame that they've lost so many good exclusives, but in this day and age, we'll take what we can get.